Well, guess what, guys? Cree 21 Boom is back. I am the queen of impromptu podcast, just coming back at y'all. P, this is what he want me to call him, but clearly it says PM McKnight. He wanted to get on the show. He got something he want to talk about it. Hopefully he's going to keep it positive. He is a male and we love the men, but they got some ways about them that they have us kind of controlled and mind boggled. We'll see if he can shake the podcast
What?
tonight. I'm gonna let him introduce himself. P, floor is yours.
What's up, y'all? Man, my name is P. I go by P from coast to coast. Falon McKnight, if you know me by my business side. I am one half, well, I'm 50% of the Delete That podcast that just started this year in January. And I'm also starting the PM Lifestyle podcast in February. So I heard a lot about this young lady and I decided to come in, tap in. I've been for the last 2 days, somebody's been blowing up my phone like, you need to get on her show. You need to get on her show. And I said, well, she got to let me on her show. She got to let me in. And voila, she did. With no hesitation, she put me on. And I'm here. I'm here to discuss whatever we need to talk about, whatever subjects we can have it. You know what I mean? I'm ready.
All right. So this is a thing, right? I've watched a lot of podcasts over the years,
Hmm.
and usually we do a little research before we have somebody on our show.
Okay.
I'll just have y'all know I ain't did no research on this guy. I'm just a firm believer of that. I can hold my own with anybody who come on the show. And whatever show I go on, I can hold my own. And if I can't, I'll just completely cut it off, and that'll be the end of the show.
That part.
So I think, well, I can't think because I really don't know who was hitting you up the last couple of days and saying you need to get on the show. Would you like to enlighten us on why he felt or she felt you need to get on my show?
Because they really engage in your conversation and what you have going on your show. So, like one of your topics was, I guess, what men and really want, I mean, what men want or what women really want, something
Mm-hmm.
like that. And we had a two-part series on that. And we just recently did the second one all in 1 month. So,
Oh,
they had
cool.
some probably had some comparisons on what we were talking about to you, what you were talking about. I guess they wanted to, have me just tap in. And, I'm not unbiased. I check in and see what, other people doing, especially our sisters. So I like to see what you had going, and it seemed like you had something good going. So voila, I showed up, pulled up on you.
I love that, and I appreciate you doing that. Where are you actually? Where are
Right
you?
now, I'm in Dallas, Texas. I'm raised in California, so I'm a Compton baby. So I grew up out there. I was born in Kansas City, stayed out there 3 weeks. You know what I mean? So go Chiefs. You know what I'm saying? So I moved out there. I ended up staying in California till I was maybe 17. Then I moved up to Texas, and I've been back and forth, different places. Now I'm back in Dallas, Texas, and started the podcast, and we doing things here.
And how long have you been in the podcast world?
Man, they've been trying to get me on for like 10 years. And I was like, nah. See, I thought a podcast, you had to have an iPhone. And I'm an Android head. So I'm like Shaq with the little coffee shop. I missed an opportunity 10 years ago. You know what I mean? He didn't invest in Starbucks, and I should have invested in it 10 years ago. So people saw potential in me that I didn't see. So I was just like, let me go ahead and jump into the podcast space. I have a lot to
I
say. A
think
lot
that's
to share.
actually dope. Oh, I'm sorry. I think that's dope. A lot of times we don't even know like what our purpose is. It takes other people, and that's why relationships are important. It takes other people to put the mirror up and say, "Man, you need to actually do this." Guess what? This is actually like maybe my sixth, seventh show. I literally just started podcasting. I have a big mouth, obviously. And whenever I would engage with my friends or hang out, hang around, I'm always talking about something that's going to help us become a better people in
Hmm.
general, overall. And I'm not biased to women or men. It's just a better way. And becoming your authentic self has always been something that I preach as far as living in your purpose. The more you learn, the better you become. Period. So actually, I'm still fresh. Like I'm actually really excited. I'm trying to contain my excitement that somebody's been talking about me enough and asking you to like actually come on the show. You need to get on it. I love that. That makes me so excited. You have no idea. I'm
I
trying to
mean, you're
contain
doing your
myself
job. You're doing your
and
job.
remain professional. Also, The heading and title for this is because I just wanted to pick something quickly, was from player mindset to partner mindset. I don't know you personally, so
Mhm.
do you mind if I ask your status?
I am a single black male in the state of Texas.
All right, now I'll ask about your mindset. Do you still have the player mindset? Or are you with the partner mindset?
I grew up, I matured. So no, now I have back in the day, yeah, I was considered that player. You know what I mean? So now I am recently divorced of 5 years, and now I am a faithful man. I've apologized to all the broken hearts. I apologize to all the people. I got rid of all my karma. Recently, everybody, you know what I mean. So I owned up to what I was doing. I was in these streets, real heavy. And I did a lot of partying with athletes, superstars. I dated some stars, dated some people, lived some normal people. So I had a
Normal people.
well-rounded, because I consider myself living a normal life. I love it. You know what I mean? Just to sit here and just feel and do normal things. You know what I
Okay,
mean?
so that title was appropriate from a player mindset to a part. That title was appropriate. Okay, I was just trying
Right.
to, because if it wasn't, then I'd have to announce that. I know I put that on there, but I really don't know you. But here we are, so we're gonna get to know each other. I love
Everything
it.
happens
I'm
for a
so
reason.
excited.
Yeah,
I
let's
feel like
do
I'm
it.
somebody, and I know I'm still just a little seed that just got planted in the ground, and I'm just trying to grow. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So what shall we talk about?
I'm here. You let me know. This is
All
whatever.
right, guess. Let's see. Actually, my cousin was supposed to be on the show today. I
Hmm.
just got blessed with Anita because her story was very interesting because a lot of women, oh no, a lot of people in general don't live in their truth, like, or they're ashamed of their truth, so they hide it. I talk about how people lie because they are afraid of hurting people. They want to control the narrative. Um, Several reasons, just people just in general lie about stuff. But when I meet people who are genuine in their character and they don't mind their truth, no matter how ugly it is, those are the type of people that I'm drawn to because I'm
Okay.
more liable to trust you than those people that put on a facade and my life is great and then they're going home crying and miserable. So, do you have anything you want to say about that? Because I have
Yeah,
questions.
I mean, I'm a firm believer in telling the truth. I rather tell the story before somebody else tell my story for me. You know what I mean? And for people that's scared of telling the truth, you must be ashamed of your past. You're ashamed of things that you probably done in the past, or you're just ashamed as a person. So for the most part, if you can really tell that truth, tell your truth, nobody has to tell it for you. You know what I mean? You can actually grow from that. So no, I'm a firm believer. I talk about anything. Some people tell me I'm too open. You know what I mean? So no, I'm very firm in telling the truth and just putting it out there.
And I like to refer to 8 Mile. Do you remember the part where he had the battle rap and they was like, "Oh, are you afraid that he's gonna talk about how you got a friend who shot?" So it's like if
Yeah,
you already accept yourself, good, bad, and ugly, and you tell your story, what are they gonna have to talk about? They ain't got nothing to talk. You've
mhm,
already told your story. They have
exactly.
nothing
What's
to talk
left?
about. They can't shame you. They can't none of these things. It's not gonna affect you because you've already accepted it as this is who I am. This is who I'm trying to be. This is where I'm going in my life and I'm going to be a better me. So I said all that to say this. I have a line of questions that I had for my other guest that didn't show up. And I'm going to say he didn't show up, but he was also having technical difficulties with his computer system. That happens whenever we're online. We know that happens.
Yeah,
And
that works.
so he's actually getting married this year.
Okay, congratulations, man.
I am so happy for my cousin. It's his second marriage. And if he was on here telling his own business, then I wouldn't have to do this. But since he didn't make it, I'm going to do it with respect, of course. But he talked about how he used to, or he dated 6 women at the same time. And I was quite interested in how one can navigate 6 women because I know myself, I require a lot of attention and
Mhm,
time. So I don't know how you can navigate 6 women seriously anyway. Now you could play games all day long and not answer your phone and all that.
mhm.
So I'm gonna ask you, how do you suppose a man can navigate? No, let me start off by this. How many women did you navigate when you were a player at one
Man,
time?
all of them.
How many women? You
A
can't
lot.
say all of them
No,
because
I'm just saying.
clearly you
I'm just
didn't
saying.
date all women.
Nah, man, a lot. And I can say the most. Okay, the most I can say that I've juggled in a day was like nine.
9 women?
9 women.
You,
Promise you.
oh my
I
God.
promise you. 9 women in one day.
Wow. Men and women in the comics and comments alike, can y'all tell me how many people have y'all juggled at one time? Within like reason, like within like a how many, like would you say like in a six month span, a year span? Like I'm talking about like maybe 6 month span. Like how does I don't know.
Well, I had them in rotation, and I can say I lived a lifestyle that most people wouldn't approve in. Just to say I was in management, and I had women. You know what I mean? So in one household, I had women walking around in my house. Yeah, they come out. I guess the best part of that was to maintain that and retain them was to tell them the truth. So everybody knew the truth of what was going on. Everybody wanted to be aboard. You know what I mean? I treated them all the same. I didn't have no her this, no favorite, nothing like that. Most people tend to do that, but I was pure honest with them. You know what I'm saying? And everybody was wondering, like, dang, how do you? Because when I moved from California and I came to Texas, I came out here with three with me. You know what I'm saying? And at that point, I walked into my family's house. When they see me leave, they didn't know nothing about seeing me like that. So when I came back, all my uncles in there like, hey, what is he doing? You know what I mean? But I kept it real with everybody. They knew what was going on. Man, we took care of each other.
Okay, so I'm not sure you with labels and titles. So is that like a poly lifestyle or what?
I wouldn't say poly. It was before poly. It's an old lifestyle. You know what I mean? Just say management of women. I can say that much without saying too
Anthony
much.
Anthony Davis said it's not hard to do. Um, the
It's not.
women didn't fight, argue, like they were just in agreement.
I had a few of them that were, trying to think that one was better. I had a few. One of them was like, you can get rid of all them and just keep me. I'll make it happen. Eventually, it all came to where I had minimum of maybe 3 or 4 at a time. But yeah, it came to an end at some point. I ended up having a child by one of them, and at that point, I found out it was a girl. My first son was a boy, so I figured that, the karma wasn't coming back too soon when I had a boy. So when I had a girl, something within my heart was like, you know what? You need to let everybody go. You know what I mean? Focus on this one person. And then I ended up letting everybody go. And I ended up staying with the mother of that child until she was 7. So I
Oh,
do
she
have it.
won. She won.
I,
She
I,
did a
I,
replica of you.
I ain't gonna say she won. She just got lucky to have the seed. So,
Not lucky. Now let me ask you this:
mm,
were you unprotected with all of them?
no, some of them never touched. No.
How did you choose whether or not to go unprotected? The ones you went
Um,
unprotected with.
it was only two. You know what I mean? It was the mother of my child and another one. One was longer than the other. So one had been around for a long time. The other one was the last one that came in. And, like I was saying, I was coming through that transition and just leaving that lifestyle alone. Once I left that lifestyle, when she got pregnant, then I was, that guilt trip set in to like, I need to let these women go about
But
their
why?
business.
Why did you want to
Um,
come up out of the lifestyle?
I was the karma. I was having daughters now. She was pregnant with a little girl. So in my mind, I was like, you know what? I don't want her raised around this. I need to raise her right. She needs to have a structure.
Mm.
So now that was my time. You're going from like your early 20s. I mean 19. You're starting to hit that 25, 26 mark. So now your frontal lobe is developing. Consciousness sets in. You're maturing. So at that point, it was like, I need to move on and do something better because I have a little girl coming. So I needed to have that structure for her to come out of, to come out the way she needed to come out.
It was no longer about your own selfish pleasure. It's
Correct.
now a bigger picture. I
Way bigger
completely
picture.
understand that. Now, how many did you have in the house at one time?
Inside the house, I can say 4 at one time, maybe 4.
Women.
Yeah.
Do you think women are capable of that? Like having men?
Well, there's like, yeah, yeah. I have a homegirl right now I grew up with out in Compton. She moved to Vegas. She's a nurse now. She said that she has a female that's a nurse, that's a friend of hers, and on her way home, she makes rounds to at least 4 to 5, 6 men a day. So she called me like, "Hey man, be careful out there. These women are really getting around." You know what I mean? So she really was really visiting, this amount of guys every day when she's getting off work. So I'm a firm believer that a woman can go out every night if she's beautiful or just because she's a woman. Men naturally attract to women. She can have multiple people, have multiple occasions and different things like that. Versus a man that struggles to meet a woman, he's going to struggle with that. He might meet one woman per week, maybe a few per month. You know what I mean? He can't maintain that as much as a woman's inbox or a woman's approach. So it's kind of unbalanced. I ain't gonna say like in a good or bad way, but women are more, you know, they are less, men are more on the hunt for the women. So, and I'm a firm believer that a woman selects her man, not a man selects his woman. So if she opens that door, a guy gonna follow. You know what I mean?
So you don't believe that men has the access to relationships and women have the access to sex? That's the going theory.
No, I think everybody has access, but I believe because the nature of the woman, being attractive, the man is on a hunt for him. We hunt for women, whether they want to admit it or not. Men go out to hunt for women. You know what I mean? So she has the ability to take in who she wants. She can play, the game a little bit different than a man can. A man can play, but a woman can really play. She
Yeah,
can
but
get it.
you chose them women to be in your house. It ain't the other way around.
Well, for that lifestyle, I had to still pursue those women. I had to make them believe that I was the one that can make them comfortable, take care of them, protect them, and things like that. So yeah, I did go out there. I was just so happy it's nothing like when stepping out with three women in a
Hmm.
spot and all y'all looking good, they looking good, I'm looking good, and everything. We good, we having fun, smile on the face and things like that. We eating good. The women tend to be attracted to men with women. They want to come in and join along, especially if you have those three that can actually go out there and pursue the woman. You know what I mean? So it makes it easier when you have a team full of people that
I
can
love
actually,
that.
make it easier. She might take to one of the chicks, and next thing you know, won't you come ride with us? And next thing you know, you got another one in the car. It's
So
that kind
you
of.
let the women pick the other women?
Sometimes, yeah.
I
Yeah.
love that. Like I actually envision myself walking in with like one woman or two women and our man, and we take care of him, we take care of each other. And I don't feel like at this day she can go. You probably should have waited until you got a little older for that lifestyle. But you're no longer in that lifestyle, though, right?
No longer, no,
You don't
no.
want it anymore based off
Yeah,
of
yeah. I left
the
it for the
daughter, right?
youngest. I left it for the youngest. I'm a one woman's man, so if I when I lock in with somebody, it's for one. I know how to maintain that one. You know, nowadays.
So you saying this because you had the daughter, but I'm hearing that it's your mindset change. And this is another thing that I preach is basically however you set your mind, whatever that is to do, that is how you are going to choose to live your life.
Hmm.
Because people are raised, sometimes kids are raised to think that monogamy is it. And I just don't agree with that. I don't think that that was something that in our nature. Like I think that's a European thought process
Hmm.
because we're happier when we have more than one person, in my opinion. But I know that you can choose to invest your time and energy into one person and create happiness and whatever that looks like for you.
So
What do you
you've
think
been
about
in that
that?
situation before? Like how many relationships you've had?
So I have navigated two men and one female before.
And
And
all
the
at the same time?
female is because, and this was just a period in my life, which was, it lasted maybe a year, a
Mhm.
period in my life where I got tired of being in failed relationships and giving my all to people and just for them to step out. And then here I am being faithful. And it's like, damn, I met somebody I wouldn't mind, getting down with, but I choose to respect the relationship.
Yeah.
But had I known you was doing you, we could have talked about it and
And
we
been
could have
cool.
all had a good time. And it's not fair to people who are committing themselves to these type of relationships
Mhm.
and then the person is living their best life when they out in the streets. It's just not fair.
Did you ever present that to the people? Were they scared?
Every when I was involved with multiple people,
Mhm.
I'm very honest and upfront and for it is your choice whether or not you want to continue, and it's your choice whether or not you don't. And I'm okay either way. This
Mhm.
is how I view relationships today. If you don't want to be a part of whatever I have going on, I respect that. Respect that this is who I am and this is the way I want to live my life. But much like you, I found that it didn't work out, and it didn't work out because just because I'm honest, don't mean the other people involved are honest. You
Correct.
know, and I'm very particular about who I'm going to sleep with. So if you lying about Raw Dog and Tanisha and Roxy, and then you come and lay with me and don't want to use protection, I have a problem with that.
Yeah.
You know, and I can be as honest as I want to, just like you can. But if you're dealing with somebody who is not honest, it's not going to work. And that's why it didn't work for me.
Okay.
One of the guys was very dishonest individual, and I kind of put him on a pedestal because he was honest in the beginning, and we were on the same page. But and his this is another thing, guys. Like you could be honest in the beginning, but if you're not honest throughout the whole relationship, you're still a liar. Like you have to continue to be honest because I hear guys say a lot, and he said it to me. I told you what it was in the beginning. I wasn't looking for nothing serious. Yeah, we agreed on that. But then
Okay.
when I call you 20 days from then and be like, hey, what you up to? Oh, nothing, just chilling in the house, but you raw down in some other woman, you still
Mhm.
lying. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and
So
you can't present that, I'm not trying to lock down with nobody. I mean, that's an eye opener to say, you might have a chance to be with somebody else. You know what I'm saying? So I don't understand why he wasn't honest in that fact. I wish more women was honest like you presented that to him. So that was kind
I'm
of wild.
telling you, Anita, who was just on my show, is literally the second woman, and I talk to women all day long, all
Mm.
day long. She is the second woman with that mindset of I'm going to be me. I'm going to create my story the way, these are my words. She didn't say this,
Yeah.
but this is what I got from what she said. I'm going to create the story that I want for my life. She's
Okay.
tried marriage 15 years. She was allowing her husband to cheat. She was like, "Don't ask, don't tell." I don't know how a woman can do that and
Right.
then still come back.
She told him don't ask, don't tell, or
She
he
did
told.
not ask him. She did not require him to tell her anything. When he went out to do what he wanted to do, he did it and she was normal. It didn't sway her emotions one way or the other. Now, me personally, I don't understand or I don't believe a woman can really operate in that space. But she operated in that space, and the way she did it was she went out and found her boo that she fell in love with. But then she's talking about a negative and a negative made a positive. I'm in the math, all this and that. But the reality is, eventually, the real emotions are going to come out and set in, and that's what happened. She found herself not even wanting to go home, sitting in her car crying.
Mhm.
Those are the real emotions. Now you can put them up there in a box somewhere and not deal with them. But like most black families, we sweep things under the rug when we should be actually dealing with them up front. So if she dealt with those emotions and stuff up front, she would have been out that marriage a long time ago.
Why even get married in the beginning though? Why
Well,
why
see,
make a vow to that? Why just not live a life of I won't ask, you don't tell, and let's just get it cracking? Like why even get married?
so here's the thing about that, friend.
Mhm.
Most people, and I'm saying most because this is just my thought process on it. Most people don't get married to get divorced. Now, unless they getting in it with a contract marriage, most people don't go with their family and before God and say the vows without really meaning them. Most people.
Mhm.
Obviously, there are exceptions to rules. I've been married twice. And I really meant it the first time. I could tell you that. The second time was questionable. I had other ulterior motives why I got married the second time, but I was honest. I told him I wasn't in love with him, and he was like, "Well, you grow to love him." I can't make this up. This is my life. He's probably watching. It's a true story. I told him I was not in love with him, and he said he'll grow. Maybe I'll grow to love him. I'm like, well, okay, because it was beneficial to
Wa
me.
Was he African? That's what they do in
He was
Africa.
absolutely African. He was
Okay.
absolutely African.
That's what
And
they
and
do over
and
there.
believe it or not, I grew to love him. Just not
That's
in
a
the
real
way that
thing.
a wife should love her husband.
Okay.
Just not
Wow.
in because we had a great friendship.
How long did
Um,
you stay in that relationship?
2 years. I haven't been in a relationship for more than 2 years my entire life.
What?
Marriage or relationship.
2
At
years?
some point you realize that something's not for you. If you keep
Mhm.
doing the same thing and keep getting bad results, at some point you realize that maybe it's not for you. Maybe you need to do something differently. So this is why my mind has expanded as such, because I can't say that I haven't tried. And I absolutely still have the mindset that I can be in a committed relationship.
Mhm.
I can be in a marriage. It's a mindset for me.
So
Let
you're
me
like a
go to
puzzle.
some of
You're
these
a puzzle. I think if somebody
comments.
figure you out, they'll have you locked down. They just got to figure you out. Hmm. It's easy.
Anthony said, I applaud his mentality. Philip said, it's very possible. I know of a lady that lives with three men in Houston. What? And she's intimate with the three of them. Wow. That sounds like a life for somebody.
Yeah, a lot of pleasure. Somebody is getting pleased for real.
Philip said, do you believe in bringing someone else in your relationship or marriage to make it work out?
Wow.
That was definitely not an option when I was married. So I don't know. Do you? Have you ever been married?
Yeah, I've been married before. Um, Married for 10, separated for 5. Recently divorced last year. I've been in a situation that was like that. I went to New York one time, moved to New York to do a job. Um,
Hmm.
she had some friends that, a lot of girls, a lot of her homegirls telling me like, "Oh, you don't know your girl like we know your girl." I'm like, "All right," well, until I find out, you know what I'm saying? And this is the one I had a child by, but
Mm.
I go to New York and I send her, I come fly her out there for Christmas, the holidays. And when she goes back, I noticed that her homegirl, one of the homegirls, over at the house every night. But I'm in New York acting a fool, you know what I mean? So it's kind of like whatever you're doing out there. So I make a trip. I make a trip back to the crib, and as soon as we land, she hit me with the offer. Like, "Oh, you remember so and so and so?" I'm like, "Yeah, I think I want to have a threesome." Now in my mind, I'm looking like, you done already had something going on since I've been going. She been spending the night every night. I just ain't say nothing.
Hmm.
So yeah, one day, it popped off, and I noticed in while engaging and when we were engaging in, she was into it. Like she was really into it. So I'm like, all right, well, we finna get it cracking. So next thing you know, she looking at me like, no, y'all really into it. And realistically, to be honest with you, the homegirl, I knew she liked me somewhat, a little bit of
Uh-huh.
something. You know what I mean? So it made it easier. But at that point, I can feel the uneasiness in them. You know what I mean? Like, they both sharing, they kind of like, I just noticed what I noticed, you know what I'm saying? And
Hmm.
after that, we split up. It wasn't because of that situation, but it wasn't the same. You know what I'm saying? Once a woman, some women mentally can't handle that. Once they see that man engaging in that woman in that way, some women can't handle it. It's kind of like, I really didn't want to do that in the first place. So yeah, it
Hmm.
happened a few times.
That was the woman you had the baby with?
Yep.
So she was bisexual.
Yeah.
She was already
But
engaging with the woman. You guys were
she
in a
would
committed
deny it.
relationship?
Yeah, yeah. She would deny her being bisexual. It was kind of like, oh, some new thing I put on her. But nah, I could tell from her homegirls and who she hung out with that she was, already getting down with the get down. So,
See, that's the type of stuff. I don't know why people can't be honest with at least themselves and
ever,
other people. But
especially for that
I
matter.
think it's what you say. I think it's some shame attached to it. It has to be. Because why else would people keep stuff like that about who they are? That's just like guys that's on the down low. So
Hmm.
we know what happens.
Yeah, they stay down low until somebody expose them. You know what I mean?
Hmm. When
Um,
you were younger, did you think that you had commitment issues?
um, nah, I just knew every woman was available. So I wouldn't say commitment issues. You young, you know what I'm saying? So you can hear the word around school or word around when you're a little bit older, get older and things like that. You hear this coming back, the feedback. So, you gain a little confidence. If you're confident in it, then shoot, why not wear it? You know what I'm
I
saying?
just told these ladies earlier on my podcast yesterday. I said we are responsible for blowing these men head up. They're not just waking up and thinking that on their own. It's the audience. We are
Sorry.
responsible for it.
And I believe when women hear certain things about other women, I mean men, and the women are telling the story, they get curious and want to test it out. So that's why you have some of the women that might go backstab their homegirl or try to go, slide in there, or the man might slide in the DM. you're telling your story to another woman. She's gonna get curious. I want to know what that's like. Just like if I tell one of my homeboys something, they gonna be like, I want to know what that's like. But my boys got a code. But some women, they'll take that chance. They'll take that shot. You know what I'm saying?
It's sad but true. I have to agree with you. That's how I picked the second guy that I was going to deal with. I heard that he was pretty good in bed. I heard that he's not trying to lock nobody down. He ain't trying to be in no committed anything. I said, "Ooh, he he can do what now, girl?" Yes, I got all kind of evidence. I said, "Yep, I'm gonna have to check that out."
Right. So, question: Did you tell her like, look, I want to try that out to her face, or did are you in your mind like,
In her
I
whole
am
face, I said, "I'm
good?
gonna have to check that out."
And what she say?
She's like, she was advising me against it, obviously. Now, I don't know if, I don't think she's dealt with him
Mm-hmm.
personally. So it was just a mutual friend because I was asking about him because he had kind of like a nonchalant type of energy.
Mm-hmm.
And so I inquired about him. I always do a little research first.
Yeah.
I inquired about him, and in that stage of my life, I really didn't want anything seriously. So I needed somebody who didn't want anything serious. But the irony of it is that guy actually started wanting something serious with me. That's the irony of that. My whole
Okay.
situation. It kind of ruined my whole setup that I had. He wanted something serious. He wanted me to leave the other guy alone. I had to leave the girl alone. I mean, it was just really, this is not how it was supposed to turn out. So that situation didn't work
Mm-hmm.
for me.
But I knew a chick, and we was real cool friends. She used to visit me in New York, and after my situation was over with my wife, my marriage and everything, she tried to hook up, you know, and what happened was she had multiple dudes. I mean, I knew about them. She said she was married. She was in the military. When she went overseas, she was bunking. Her husband is back home, but she's bunking with the dude that she's messing with. But the dude is bringing other females home. So at one point, when I come out there, she trying to make it seem like, oh, he was just a stalker and all this. And we ended up talking, for a couple of weeks and whatever the case may be, catching up and stuff like that. But at some point, she got into it with him, and it kind of carried over to what we were doing. And she was like, "Oh, you can't handle me being with this and that, being with him and all that." I'm like, "I don't have a problem with it," you know what I mean. But I was just asking, can you call his house and his girl answer the phone and she's okay with it? He was like,
Right.
"No." I said, "Well, you a side chick that the girl don't know about, you know what I mean? So don't hate me for being upfront. Y'all need to figure that out, you know what I'm saying?" So she called me when I get back to Dallas. I don't think we should be together, but if you want to come out here, yeah, we can do something, but we just ain't gonna be in a relationship. But again, I'm at that stage of my life to where I'm past, being with somebody. I want to lock somebody down. I'm not trying to lock everybody down. That's the easy
Right,
part.
right.
Trying to find for me, that one that's gonna fit all the criteria. That's the one I'm trying to engage with. You know what I mean? So yeah, I didn't had all that. I've been there.
Would you like to talk about this criteria? Because we live and it's a lot of single women out here. If y'all watching from Dallas, well, or surrounding areas, what's that criteria?
Man, you just want somebody that's gonna tell you the truth, be honest. You know what I mean? Want to live life.
Good
You
luck
want
with
to
that.
have. I need some that part right. I need somebody that's gonna bring peace. We got more behind us than we do in front of us. So I can't be having no crazy stuff going on in this stage of my life. I have grown kids now. I have a baby that just came. So I'm trying to live that final stage of my life. You know what I mean? Cool. I don't want no problems. Let's be happy. You go travel, I go travel. We do whatever we want to do. You know what I'm saying? Have fun. But we just keep it 100 with each other, respect each other. You know what I'm saying? Grow, because I'm a firm believer in this, that you haven't really lived life unless you've been loved. And I can't really say I experienced the mutual love to be able to be loved and to give love back. So that's what a person is on the search for. I want
Not
to
in
love.
your marriage either.
Hmm?
You haven't experienced love in your marriage when
I
you
don't
were
think
married.
it wasn't reciprocated. She told me some crazy stuff. She said, "I don't believe you love me. I think you love the kids more than you love me." And in my opinion, that's different. I'm gonna have father love for the children. I'm gonna have relationship love for the wife. And she got it mixed up. So yeah, she cheated. You know what I mean? And twice. And
But
one of
what
my
was
home,
she basing it off of?
I have
Like,
not a
what did she
clue.
drew that conclusion?
She told me that out of her own mouth. Like, nah, I didn't really consider that thought that I didn't think that you love me. I thought that you love the children more than you love me. And I couldn't figure that one out. So, to this day, you know what I mean? If you can explain it to me. But I had father love for my children, and I had relationship wife love for her, and she couldn't figure it out. So it was a blurry vision on her behalf, not on mine. I committed to being committed to her. So during the divorce, would I do it again? Yeah. It wasn't that the marriage was messed up. It was the person that was messed up in the marriage with me.
Yeah, well, but it doesn't seem like y'all tried to fix it. Did y'all go to counseling?
Went to counseling. We went to counseling, right? We went to, and so crazy, we made a balance. We went to his and her counseling. I mean, you have a man and a woman that have been married for years that's gonna counsel you in this session. So as a black man, I'm like, I ain't going no counseling. I ain't crazy. I'm thinking counseling is for crazy people or people that can't get it right. So I was
Mm,
like, well, how would I look if I didn't give it a shot to say, let me go to counseling and try to figure this thing out?
right.
So I'm gonna go ahead and get it bad at it. So I go to counseling. We sitting on the couch. We going for a couple of weeks. Oh, let me start back. The first day, they give you a folder. And the folder is to sit here and fill out this folder. They want to basically find out your history from your family, how your parents think, how what you grew up, what you saw when you was growing up, and
Mhm.
things like that. So they want to see the comparison of where did
The
it get
pattern.
good,
Mhm.
right? So take this folder. You guys take this folder. You take yours. You go home. You guys do this folder. If you can't agree on the answer, agree to disagree. You got that? Yeah. You got that? Yeah. When it's time to go back to go do the folder, she mad because of what I'm answering. Nah, you can't answer that way. I'm like, hey,
God.
they said to agree to disagree. But yeah, I don't think you should put that down. I said, now we're not being honest. You know what I mean? Because if that's
Right.
not what you want to put down, that's not being honest. So long story short, man, we go to counseling for like 6 weeks. She goes in one day and she gets into it with the counselor, both of them. And the counselor says, he said, look, you can't be mad at me. You know what I mean? We're here to help you. You can't be mad at, me for the situation. So he told me, he said, Pete, he said, Mr. McKnight, can you get up? He walked me to the foyer. He said, hey, man, continue doing what you're doing. You're doing a good job. She needs to come back to counseling.
For
And
herself.
it was supposed to be set up for herself. She never continued that counseling. And also,
Mhm.
she said that she was going to personal. She never continued the counseling. So, in my behalf, I don't know how effective a counseling could have worked if you had completed the entire counseling session. So I didn't have that opportunity. And then she did say she messed up. But I do give her the props for saying that she admitted that she messed up, or she admitted that she was cheated and all that. But she never made no effort to say, well, how can we go forward to make fix it. I was willing to even tell her, I was like, hey, we can rock with this, we can fix it. I ain't tripping. You know what I mean? Stuff happened, but she walked out. So shoot, I moved that same day.
Um, Definitely an advocate for counseling. But much like his story, if you don't come honest, put 100% effort into it, it's not going to help you.
And you
You know,
wasted
and that's
your
why
time.
a lot of people look down on counseling. But if you're not going to come in with honesty, like it's just not going to work for you. Um, Somebody's already asking, how old are you?
I am
Look at
40,
God.
47 years old in Dallas, Texas. 47 years old.
47-year-old, Dallas,
Yeah.
Texas. Do you have any deal breakers?
Deal breakers, man. I wouldn't say a deal breaker, but I would say a preference because I might catch you at a certain way, and hopefully we can talk about it, and if we can work past it. So I'm not big on fake lashes. I'm not really big on extra hair. I want a natural woman, a natural essence, natural face, natural beauty, natural waist. You know what I mean?
Guys
And I want
always
a woman. You know, feel
I'm
me?
sorry. I'm
No,
sorry. Just let me
wait, go
I get
ahead.
my
Go
thoughts
ahead.
in when they come. Guys always say they want natural this, natural that, natural this. But all that I see, like when I go out, when I'm around on TV, whatever,
Mhm.
like is men Google eyeing the women with the BBLs, with the long weaves, with the makeup caked on it. It's like, which
Okay.
one you really want? Those
Check.
are not the ones you wife, huh? Those are the ones you just
I hear
temporary
that those are the
recreational
ones.
use type of crap.
Those are the ones you play with. That's what I hear. And we've done the survey. I grew up around natural women. That's all I know. So me personally, I can't tell you, and I'm not knocking you for what you do, but I think there's a period of time where that has become a trend. It's fashionable.
Yeah,
You look at
they normalize it.
yeah,
Mhm.
you look at a different world of the videos back in the day. We have more natural women. You know what I mean? And of course, men have to select from what's out there because that's what the women are thinking that men want. I really think that women are
Mhm.
in competition with women. I've seen a lot of women say, "Oh yeah, she looks this way and she this," but you're judging the women. Because I've never been out in public and told one of my boys like, "Hey man, I would holler at her, but her eyelashes ain't banging." It ain't. You know what I'm saying? I ain't never once said that in my life, and I don't think I ever will say that. You feel me? Like, yeah, man, you know what I'm saying? If she had a bigger BBL, like, nah. And I understand women have alopecia or different things. Men have alopecia. I you have some people that might have breast cancer. They might need to have their breast removed and put something else in to replace it. I had grandmothers that had breast cancer. You know what I mean? So I'm not saying that certain things won't be acceptable. I'm just saying if that's all men have to choose from in this day and era, you know, what I mean, these days, that's all you're gonna pick from. So let me give you an analogy. If I want an apple one day and all the apples fall off the tree and all these apples are damaged, I'm gonna pick. I want the one that's still up there, right? I want the perfect apple. That might be a natural apple that didn't fall and had damage from hitting the ground. But if they're all on the ground and I can't reach that tree, can't climb that tree, I'm gonna pick the best apple
Yeah, the
that's
one
on
that's
the
less
ground.
damaged.
Yeah, and everybody's been to the grocery store. You're looking at tomatoes and
Mhm.
bell peppers. You making that bet.
Absolutely.
It's a natural decision. You're gonna want the best of the best. So yeah, if that's all that's out there, it's we're gonna have to select from what's out there. So if that's 100 women in the club that way, and 99 of them left the house all dressed up that way with the however they done it, everybody should, if the natural guy gonna be fighting over that one female, but it's
That's
all
sort
you
of
got.
how it is for the women too. They all fighting over that top 10% man. The one
Hmm.
they all competing for that man. And but for me personally, I see that I'm going the opposite direction because it's just too much for me and my nerves bad.
Yeah.
Um, but the question really was like, what are your deal breakers? Not necessarily your preferences, but things that you're not willing to deal with. Like Philip said, like, what's your turn off in women? So I don't think you
Um,
quite answered it.
I would say deal breakers at this stage that I'm in. Your kids, your children have to be out of the household, so they have to be a certain age because I'm a certain age. All my kids are grown except my teenager. My teenager, she wouldn't have to worry about. Um, no, I'm very easy. A liar, I can't take that. I'm real simple. I can't really say that I have many of them, but just offhand, I'm willing to work with some things. But for sure, the certain age of a kid, because I believe that that kid is going to need some requirements that I might not be able to provide. She's probably going to she should still be engaged with the father. You know what I mean? That dynamic, I've been through that coming up, and that's just something that's not for me right there. So if the man is good and gone, then yeah, you have a better chance. I ain't gonna say that's a deal breaker, but I would prefer them to be older and out of the house. You know what I mean?
Why do you think a woman would be blessed to like be with you? Like, what's great about you? If you
Um,
don't mind me asking.
I'm gonna say I'm gonna give you a fair shot. I'm gonna give you 100% of me at
Hmm.
that point. I don't grade off of coming in with 85% in the tank. I'm gonna give you 100% in the tank until you start making the tank leak. I'm going. So if you keep it 100 with me, I'm gonna keep it 100 with you, and I guarantee you're gonna be happy in your situation because I'm gonna do my best to provide happiness for you at all costs. You know what I mean? But if you can deal with because I'm a very honest person. If you're not too sensitive and things like that, I can work with being sensitive. I understand that you might be sensitive because that's just the man is a little bit more aggressive and different things because of what we fight outside. But for the most part, I'm gonna give you a fair shake, and I'm gonna try to be what I need to be for that person.
Well, that's different because most men don't come with 100%. They come with the representative. Oh,
Mhm.
I'll just say most humans because they hate when I be like most men. But I'm a woman, so clearly I'm going to speak
Yeah,
from a woman's
I
perspective.
claim the representative. I know a lot of representatives. I know just what you're talking
Yeah.
about. Yeah,
Just meeting an individual, I can't wrap my mind around why you wouldn't be 100 like with them.
true.
Um, Again, that goes back to trying to control the narrative. I want her to like me. If I tell her the whole truth, she might not like me. So I'll keep this until we get further on. It's not fair Let me speak to the audience. It's not fair to women and men when you do that. When you keep things that are important, you take away their choice when you do that. So think about that before you do that, because that's horrible. I've dealt with a couple of guys, and I'm always myself when I come meet people. Always 100%. Good, bad, ugly. If you don't like it, I'm
Deal
just
with it.
really okay with it, because not everybody is going to be for you. Period.
True.
So if you coming at me, you need to be 100%. Period. If you can't, leave me alone. Go deal with the other fake people over
Yeah.
there. Leave me alone.
Occupy that time over there. I'm good.
Right.
Yeah.
Um, so did you say you were from Dallas?
I live in Dallas currently. I'm from Los Angeles. I was
Oh,
born and
that's right,
raised too.
Compton.
Right downtown.
Compton.
Tar babes. You feel me?
Does it matter how many kids she has?
No.
As long as they gone, grown and
Long-
gone.
As long as they, out, yeah, to where, because right now I'm able to give you 100% of the time. So I don't want to take away. So for instance, I knew this chick years ago, right? She had two sons. One was trying to come up the ranks to go through high school, to go to college to play football, right?
Hmm.
So he's at that age to where he's smelling himself. He likes girls. He getting the girls that's attracted to him. They trying to sneak in the crib and she doing all this. So my thing was, I'm like, damn, I've been a young kid before. I know what we can get into. I know she's a single mom. So let me cut my time short with her, right? And let her
Hmm.
focus more on that son. Because if she's having a hard time right now getting him
He's
out the
worried.
house to get to college, a baby would destroy all his opportunity to make it to the next level,
Hmm.
right? And if I'm looking at you with two of those, you can't afford, especially in your situation, you're not doing the best as you can. Why would you want him to have a daughter or a son and then you have to become a grandmother? You know what I'm saying? So I didn't want to tell her directly like that to hurt her feelings, but I was like falling back, like, hey, just go ahead and spend more time over. Because she like, can you install a Ring camera and video surveillance in my house so I can watch the kid?
Oh
I
God.
can do all that, but it only takes a couple of seconds and 50 pumps to get a pregnancy going. You know what I mean? So yeah, you can be on your way from my crib, on the way to your
Hmm.
house, and he still can go out there and play Pokemon and have a baby. You know what I'm saying? So I thought I was being the better man to, sacrifice my time to make sure she had a time with her kids, and she took it as, oh nigga, you just ghosted me. I'm like, whoa. Like,
Well, that's that raw honesty that you have to give people. That's what I mean. Like, you try to do it because you didn't want to hurt her feelings, which is why people don't are not honest. Sometimes the truth hurts, and that's just what it is. We as a people have to keep hearing it so that we can become resilient to the truth, because for whatever reason, people rather you pacify them and lie to them than give them the hard harsh truth, when in the end it's going to be beneficial to you that I told you the truth versus lying to you.
lying to you. And I told her later on, she was like, so why, why'd you fall back? I'm like, I explained the situation to her. She was like, that's not your decision to make. You know what I mean? I'm like, well, if
It
I
is what's
calculate
involved with it.
you
Yeah.
having a baby and you trying to be with me, this baby comes, I know the time, that's going to be taking away time for me. So I know that sounds selfish, but realistically down the line, your kid's going to miss college. It's gonna be harder to make him go to school with a baby and raise this kid and all this. Then you're gonna be gone, and I'm obligated at some point because we together at this point. If we was to get together, to help you help him, you know what I'm saying? That's kind of dude I am. I'm gonna help the whole situation. So that's why I said now I can look at it and be like, nah, that's not for me. But at least I'm gonna tell you that in the beginning. You're gonna know what's cracking. I'm gonna tell you that this is my preference. This is what I prefer. I'm not gonna wait 2 weeks down the line, 3 weeks down the line. I'm just gonna tell you it is, and then that's my truth. You either gonna have to accept it or check it. You know what I'm saying? So however it feels, but that's just where I am with it.
I love that. I love that. I love that. More men need to be that way.
We do.
And I commend you for stepping back and allowing her to be a parent to her son. Seriously. So what age are you looking to date?
Man, that's a good question. She has to be at least 40 and up. I'm 47. I had a situation where a young
Talk
lady was
about
at the house, and we did whatever we did. Now it's time to sit there and watch some TV, relax or whatever. And she told me to put on a cartoon. Now she was 23 at the time, and she gonna say like, "Put on Rick and Morty." So I'm like, "What's Rick and Morty?"
what is that?
It's a cartoon, right? So I'm like, I got every channel in the crib. We good. I said, I don't see it on BET. She like, nah, it ain't on BET. I said, I don't see it on the movie network. She said, nah, you got to go to Cartoon Network. I said, "Nigga, what?" I said, this is the adult film or something. She like, nah, man. So she looked up Ricky and Morty, and when that stuff came on, it hit me.
Oh my
I'm like, bro,
god.
you need to date women around way around your age. She
Oh my
23. That ain't gonna
god.
work. You know what I'm saying? So, and the only reason I met her because she was a client of mine. So I was like, this is weird. You know what I mean? I was like, nah, from now on, gotta be at least 40 and up. It could be a certain age, but you have to have your mind right. It's got to be a certain mature. You got to carry yourself a certain way. You know what I mean? You should have, you should be stable. I can't have you living with moms as a female. You know what I mean? I think women should have a lot more going because you have a lot more opportunity. So she should be at a certain place in life, and that way we are equal and we can move forward from there. You know what I'm saying?
Do you consider yourself equal with a woman just because she got her life going together?
I would. I mean, you can come in a situation, but you have to be honest with your situation. I can't see you in your same situation, and 3 years later, 5 years later, you still in that same situation. You haven't progressed. You know what I mean? Or you
Right.
turning down
Absolutely.
job after job. Oh, this job is just not right for me. I'm like, some job need to be right for you because right now you have none. So let's practice
Yeah.
thinking that a job could be, until you get to that next level, the next level. But I like to push independence, self-employed. Like, don't work for nobody. Get something going. We figure out what your niche is, and then we can get it going. I can
Love
help you
that.
build something. We can figure out what it is. I'm too tech. I got too much going on for you not to benefit from being with me. You know what I'm saying?
That's that
And I'm gonna
provision
help
that
you.
we can provide.
Hey, I
Some
can help
some
you
men
get
don't even know that. Like they don't even know that. They lack that. How long you say you've been single?
5 years, six. Well, let me say it's longer than that. 6.
And why do you think you've been single so long?
And because I'm selective in that process now. I have to look for that 1 percentile that's going to be right for me. I'm not here to
So
waste
5 years you
my
haven't found a lady to
I,
match that? Like,
I don't go out much. I stopped going to clubs. I don't hang out in bars. I come to the crib. I run the businesses that I run. I'm a barber. I have a barber shop. I'm a firearm instructor, so I teach people weapons, firearm training, and different things like that. I'm a level 4 officer too, so I do like rap events with rappers, celebrity football players, protecting them in certain environments. So, I kind of
so
like
you got
locked
time.
in. Yeah, I
That's
locked in. You know what I mean?
awesome.
I'm a organic type of person. Yeah, I wouldn't mind meeting somebody at Whole Foods or something that's not normal, natural. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna go meet somebody at a club where everybody's putting on this. Their representative is at the club, right? That weekend. So everybody has this mind state, oh, I'm too cute or I'm too for this, you know what I mean? And that same chick you try to holler at out there, but you get it to the parking lot and all of a sudden it's like, oh yeah, hey, nah, it's like, why I couldn't talk to you when you was at the bar and all that. What you were doing was making sure that your selection was selected before you made certain moves.
Mm-hmm.
And I ain't with that. You know what I mean? I'm with the natural type of meeting situations, organic. And that's what I believe in. So, like I said, I didn't have plenty of women. So now you're looking for the right one. So it's
Is there a
like
such thing as the right one, or you mean like just the right one for you?
for you. Yeah, it's the same,
Yeah.
you might like different, having different preferences and stuff like that. My thing is, I would know it when I see it because I done seen so many of them. So I know that diamond in the rough. I know that person that's gonna make me have that. What's that feeling you had? Like, okay, I got that little googly goo inside, like something different about her.
Man, that feeling is so temporary.
Yeah,
I don't go off that feeling.
it's
I
the
think that feeling
hormones
is
that come on.
deceitful.
That's when you see you're like, oh, something about it, and then you investigate it. You know what I'm saying? You got to go see what's cracking. You still have to do your investigation on it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, do your diligence.
Diligent.
Philip said, "Do you like a 69-year-old lady?"
Hey, look here, Philip. Let me tell you something. I ain't gonna lie to you. I wouldn't knock it. I just haven't tried it. You
Oh,
know what I'm saying? If she's 69 and fine, hey man, she doing her thing. I'm not fixing her to deny no privileges. You know what I'm saying? I do prefer a certain height, but if you taller than me, hey, I climb trees, knock down leaves. I ain't gonna be worried about it. So
how tall are you?
I'm 5'7",
No,
short.
you say you prefer a certain height.
My height are shorter than me. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Is there a reason behind that?
I'm just attracted to shorter women. I grew up around, women that were shorter than me. So,
And you
um,
want them to look up to you. You don't want to
nah,
be
it's not
looking up
even
to
about the
nobody.
looking up. She could be tall. I haven't ran across a woman that was taller than me. I guess I'm always looking down this way. So I've never just, had that experience.
Mm,
I ain't gonna say I ain't gonna knock it, but that might be my problem. I'm looking down. I might need to be looking up. Ah,
maybe,
I might need to be
maybe.
looking up.
Are you currently dating someone?
Nah. Yeah.
Do you date? Like how? What's your thoughts on dating? Like, do you date multiple people? If you date one person, do you kind of just date that person?
Man, go out. The dating process is the dating process. You know what I'm saying? Nothing's ever promised in this dating process. A lot of people go through relationships with being male and female boyfriends and all this, girlfriends. And what happens is you try to lock into that person. That person has no obligation to be faithful to you until you're married. You know what I mean? So with that being said,
I
date.
love
How you gonna figure it out? You know what I mean? If you don't go out there and test the waters, test the market. Don't just try to lock in with somebody because y'all you went out on the first day, you met her on Tinder or something, and then you done bought her McDonald's and you, baby, I love you. Nah, we gotta figure this thing out. Date. Go out there and date
that.
multiple women, multiple men, try to figure out what it is. Go out there and figure out what's cracking.
I completely agree with that. That is too funny. Uh, Hold on. I think she meant short women like tall guys. Yeah, Philip said it, and
And what's that percentage of men that are tall?
Carla said, I love the collaboration. And Philip said, tall women like short men. Um, as a people, though, as a people, we are just never satisfied, right? You could
Mm-hmm.
be short. I wish I was taller. You could be skinny. I wish I was thicker. Your hair is short. I wish it was longer. Your hair is long. I need a short, cute cut. It's like we're just unsatisfied people. I'm a firm believer if you are attracted to somebody, whether
Mm-hmm.
it's their personality, they looks, the way they smile, I think you should explore it. If you guys are both single or whatever,
Of
I
course.
think you shouldn't even pay. Let me finish. Like a lot of people pay so much energy on how tall a person is or how thick or whatever the case may be. I think those are superficial things. Like that can change. Like, well, not your height, but some of those things are superficial. Even a person that has the long eyelashes, if you date somebody like that or give somebody like that a chance and you tell them, babe, you do not need those eyelashes. You look, I promise you the eyelashes coming off. A lot of times women dress and make themselves up to where when they look in the mirror, all right, I look good, you
Mm-hmm.
know. And if they're dealing with a lot of insecurities, they're not going nowhere until they face made up. I mean, that's just, I have a friend, she's not going nowhere, not leaving the house. If her hair ain't done and her
I'm doing
face
it.
is made up, she not going nowhere. I'm
I'm,
scared of those type of people, but there are some people out here who are dealing with so many insecurities, and if they look in the mirror and see any imperfection, they trying to fix it. They trying to fix it. So until they meet that person, like, babe, that's not necessary. You don't need to do it. I went to the club a couple weeks ago, and when I tell you less clothes, I've never seen so many females with very little clothes on in my life. It's like you showing
hey,
everybody your stuff. Like, what kind of man are you really trying to attract? Because in my
exactly.
eyes, you gonna attract the wrong person.
Yep.
Like, and a lot of times it's for that attention, but it's like, do you really need that much attention? Because my eyes went, and I followed her the whole. I was like, what in the? I mean, it was very little clothes. I don't like it, but that's just me. And they gonna still do it regardless. I know it, but I don't know how we can fix that one.
And
Because
guess what
men
she's
are
gonna
saying that
attract?
they don't really like that,
She's
but
gonna
they eyes
attract
do what
gang
mine
of
did.
what you gonna look.
Oh, is something going on with the sound again? I wonder if it's my computer.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, but you sound like a robot. I'm gonna take you off and then put you back on. Oh, I sound like a whole robot.
Sound
It
better
sounds
now?
like, oh, you sound like a robot. I don't like it.
Let me see.
Go ahead and say something.
Yeah, yeah. Testing, testing.
So robotic. I'm not
Mm.
sure what that's about. I'm not sure. If do you want to log off and then log back in?
Yeah, yeah, I can do that.
Go ahead and do that for me because I want to keep this conversation going.
Okay, got you.
Technical difficulties again. I'll see if he log off and log back in and see how that sounds because he sounds like a robot on my end and it doesn't make for a good conversation. Um, I thank you guys for tuning in. I really appreciate y'all. I appreciate this collaboration. I am having such an amazing time right now. Getting to know this gentleman. Ladies, he's single. He's looking. He's in Dallas. If you're in the Dallas area, surrounding area, he's out there. He's ready. This segment on from player mindset to partner mindset has been such a pleasure because there are so many men out here looking to settle down. They're looking for their person. And all you hear women say is men are no good. They're not looking for nothing serious. They just want to play. And then I have these guys on here live saying the opposite. So women, we really need to get it together because if these men out here looking, what's stopping us from being married if that's what we want to do? If you want a relationship, what's stopping you? I don't know because there's way too many guys trying to be on my show telling me they are ready, they single, and they are available, and the women out here are on some BS. I don't know. Y'all tell me. Hopefully he can get back in here. If not, I'm gonna have to end this broadcast just like the last one. It's making me sad, but however, I'm enjoying it, and I appreciate y'all liking and sharing my lives, my podcast. I'm really trying to get this thing going and just keeping the conversation going because I'm excited about where we possibly can go in the future. Getting some people to be more authentic with themselves and just get out of this fake lifestyle that we live in like we're happy and we're really not. P, I see you back. All I need to do is hear your voice to make sure
Hey,
you're
yeah,
good to
yeah.
go. And you still sound like a robot.
Like a robot, huh? Dang it.
Maybe it's me. Audience, does he sound like a robot? Do we sound like a robot to y'all? Because if not, then it's absolutely me.
What's up,
And
audience? How we
if I
sounding
cut
out
it
there?
off, it's going to end the broadcast. So what I'm gonna do is wrap this up because I don't like the way that sound. Like it was doing the same thing with the other young lady, Anita, that was on.
Okay.
Um, P, I'd like to say this. I appreciate you reaching out. I appreciate you coming on the show. I appreciate you talking. I appreciate the man you are today
Thank you.
because there are too many people out here playing with women and their emotions and what the damage that it does to the women and children alike that's are in those households and women same thing for you guys playing games and lying and manipulating. It's hurting our children and there's another generation coming up behind us. And I absolutely believe in generational curses, and I absolutely believe that you can change them and break them, with knowledge and understanding and just making better choices. And the only way you're going to do that is if you evaluate yourself, your life, your choices, and relationships around you help you do that. They mirror who you are, they help you see the good, the bad, the ugly. And if you want to become the best person that you can possibly be, you're definitely going to have to make that change. Like Michael Jackson said, make that change. And it starts with the man in the mirror. Absolutely. You could go ahead and give me your end results, closing remarks, or whatever. It's gonna sound like a robot to me. I hope it doesn't sound like a robot to the audience. I'm gonna go back and rewatch it anyway. But again, thank you. Go ahead with your closing remarks, and we're gonna shut it down.
All right. Well, I want to thank you for having me on here, man. And if you can, I would like to have you to delete that podcast and my other show coming up in February, so we can lock in anytime. Just a word of positive word I can give is that always keep God first, man. Remember, you never know what somebody's going through in life. So if you can help somebody out, always stay positive, man. Listen to somebody, make a call out to your people, make sure they okay, make sure that everybody's doing all right. You know what I'm saying? That karma will come back to you in a good way.
All right, robot. We are going to close this segment down. You know what I want you to do also, if you can inbox me your information and stuff so I can go ahead and subscribe to you guys and check you out. and follow you. I'm all about supporting other people doing the same thing, and praising people and getting on there, adding my comments and questions. I'm all for that. I love that. Thank you again, and thank y'all for watching and posting y'all questions and interacting with us. Stay sucker free like Cree, as always. Bye.
Definitely. All right.